Hello everyone, and welcome back once again in Python full course series. In previous tutorial we seen some basic understanding about file handling and print functions like how to read files in Python, types of files in Python, how to use print function, how to open file and so on. If you didn't watch previous video, please watch previous video first for more understanding. You can find the link in I button or you can find link in description below. In today's video we will discuss more in depth about file handling in Python with practical example. So if you're ready, let's get started. Writing to files in Python. Files are useless if you can't write data to them. To accomplish this, we can employ the Python write function. This adds the characters you specify to the end of a file. Keep in mind that when you create a new file object, Python will create the file if it does not already exist. When making your first file, you should utilize either the A+ or W+ modes. We must exercise caution when using the W mode, as it will overwrite the file if it already exists. As a result, all previous data is deleted. There are two ways in Python to write some data into a file. Number 1. Write function. It's used to insert the given string into the text file on a single line. Number 2. Write lines function. It's used to insert each string into the text file for a list of string elements. It's also used to insert many strings at once. Let's see it practically one by one. Create a Python file. This is the 13 tutorial for this Python series, so I have created 13_tutorial.py. You can create with any other name if you want. Now let's create a file object using open function. First parameter is main.txt, which is the name of file, and second parameter is w because we opening file to write something. After creating file object, let's use write function to write hello Python. Then use close function to close the file. Notice, here is only one Python file, here is no main.txt file, since we are opening file in write mode, so it'll create a new file and then write in them. Let's run the program to see the expected result. Save the Python file, open your command prompt, type Python space your Python file name. In my case it's 13_tutorial.py, press enter. Now let's see in the directory, here is the new file main.txt, and if you will open this file there will be hello Python text. Keep in mind, if you'll run this Python file again, it'll override previous text and insert new text. To verify that, let's change the text, save the file and open command prompt, run the Python file. Now let's see the content of main.txt. You can see here, it has been changed. If you want to write multiple line using write function, you can use new line character. Here is the example of how you can write multiple line at once. You can use write lines function also. Here is the example of write lines functions. Reading files in Python. To begin reading a file in Python, open the file you wish to read. Python requires you to specify the name and location of the file you want to open. To read a file in Python, we must first open it in reading R mode. To read data from a file, we can use one of three functions, which are as follows. 1. Python read. The file object.read method is used to read the contents of a file. If no size option is specified, this method will read the full file and send it to the console as a string or as byte objects. The size parameter instructs the read method how many bytes to return to the display from the file. This is the syntax, how you can use read function to read file content in Python. Here, size parameter is optional. Here is the example of read function in Python with size parameter. If you will run this code, you will see this output on screen. If you will not pass size parameter in read function, it will read and return all content from file. Here is the example of read function without size parameter. 2. Read line function. Data in a file can also be parsed by reading it line by line. This allows you to scan an entire file line by line, progressing only when necessary. Reads a line from a file and returns it as a string. Reads at most n bytes for the provided n. However, even if n is greater than the length of the line, does not read more than one line. Here is the example of readLine function in Python. Run the Python file to see the expected output. 3. readLines function. The file object.readLines method, which produces a list of all the lines in the file. This method reads all the lines and returns them as string elements in a list, one for each line. Here is the example of readLines function in Python. If you'll execute the following code, you will see string elements in a list, one for each line. Python file methods. To conduct various Python file operations with the help of file objects, you may use a variety of methods. Some of them were utilized in this video. Let us look at some more Python file operation methods. 1. Close function. This function closes an open file. If the file is already closed, it has no effect. 2. Detach function. This function returns the underlying binary buffer after separating it from the text IO base. 3. Flush function. This function flushes the file stream's write buffer. 4. ICT. If the file stream is interactive, this method returns true. 5. Read with one optional parameter n. This function reads a maximum of n characters from the file. If it is negative or none, it reads till the end of the file. 6. Readable. If the file stream can be read from, this method returns true. 7. Seekable. If the file stream enables random access, this function returns true. 8. Tell. The current file location is returned. 9. Writable. If the file stream can be written to, this method returns true. That's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, remember to subscribe, hit that like button and share it with your fellow developers for more enlightening content. Until next time, keep coding, exploring, and pushing the boundaries of web development. Thanks for watching.